Hello, everyone, and welcome to Travel Talk Tuesdays with me, Robert, your favorite travel advisor. And if any of you are familiar with the brand in which I'm going to speak about today, you might recognize the scene that is behind me. And this is going to be a Margaritaville Resort. And the resort actually that we're going to be talking about, there are many Margaritaville resorts around the world. The one that we're going to focus on today is going to be Margaritaville Resort in Nassau. And we had the amazing opportunity and pleasure to go there a couple of weeks ago, and we're able to tour that property and just see what it has to offer. And it is a spectacular property. It's located right there in Nassau. It's located at the point, which is right next to the cruise terminal. So when you pull into Nassau, you actually go right in front of the Margaritaville Resort when you're coming in or leaving out. And so it's just a great piece of property right there. I remember a couple of years ago when we were in Nassau, where that resort sits, it was all just beach, and they've completely just refurbished the entire area, built an amazing property there. And Nassau is coming a long way. There's a lot of construction that's going on around it. I think Margaritaville is the start of that jewel that is going to be the Nassau cruise port area. There's a lot of construction going on, and a lot of great shops and things are coming in the future. So if you haven't had a chance to visit Nassau, I would encourage you definitely go down there and check it out. There's so much that is coming. It might not be where you want it to be at right now. A lot of people, they travel around Nassau and like, Nassau is still closed down. And I don't think that's the case. I think there's just a lot that is under construction right now in Nassau. And that is why people think, oh, it's just shut down. When you kind of get off of the main strip right there, there's a lot that's open. There's a lot to do in Nassau. And one of the things you can do is visit the Margaritaville Resort. Like I said, it's just a short walk. It's maybe half a mile, just right there down from the cruise port. So amazing piece of property at the point. And like I said, we had the opportunity to tour it. When we were in Nassau about a month and a half ago, the property was still under construction, so we weren't allowed in it. But this time when we went by, the doors were open. They were checking us. They check you right there at the door when you're walking into the resort. So you will show them your vaccination card, which you'll have to have on you at this time to travel around Nassau. And then you'll walk up to a thermal scanner, and that thermal scanner will scan you just so they ensure that you do not have a temperature. And then you'll use some hand sanitation, which is right there. And then you're free and welcome to walk around the resort. Now, this resort is split into a couple different components. And what I love about this, if you're familiar with the Margaritaville brand at all, and especially the brand of resorts that they have coming out, you know that some of them have buy-in options that are available at them, whether that be in the form of cottages or condos or apartments and things like that. Well, this one here in Nassau, it is actually has two separate buildings. So you have one particular harbor, which I can't think of a better name than to take, Jimmy Buffett's song and just take that name out of it and make it the ownership building of Nassau, Margaritaville in Nassau. So you have one particular harbor, that's where your condos are going to be. And then right across the promenade from there, you do have the Margaritaville Beach Resort. Now, the good thing about this resort is every room has an oceanfront view. There are no rooms that overlook the parking lot or overlook Nassau. All rooms face the ocean. And then they do have a section there, which is on the kind of, not the main deck. I think it's on the third floor actually, and it's going to be an infinity pool. So some of the suites open right up to that infinity pool area, and they've got a nice little bar right there. And then they have that swim up infinity pool. So you can just swim right to the edge and overlook. And then down below you from that infinity pool is a water park. So that water park down there, they have an amazing just lazy river that's going through there. There's some slides. It's great for the kids. As we were walking around, I was like, I wish I had brought my bathing suit because I'd love to be in this lazy river right now. The temperature down in Nassau, it was amazing. I mean, it was maybe low 80s. It felt great, but it would have felt even better, if I was in that water. But as we were walking around and touring that resort, there's the shop that every Margaritaville has. And that shop is unique to Nassau. They have a lot of merchandise and stuff that is unique to Nassau. A lot of their clothing is very appropriate too for Nassau and for the Caribbean. But then there's a rooftop bar. It was still under construction, but we were able to walk around and at least see what it's going to look like. So you have, when you get up on the top floor and you walk out the elevators, if you turn to your right, there's going to be the bar area with seating. But if you go to the left, it's more of an open concept. And they didn't have any furniture out there yet, but from what it looks like, and from speaking to the staff there, that's just going to be an open area to lounge in. and they'll have servers and, and all that come around. But right in front of you, across from the elevator, along the backside of the hotel, you had a cigar shop. For those of you that love to smoke cigars, there was a cigar shop right there. And then right next to it, it looked to be a brandy bar. It was closed. I kind of looked through the window to see what was going on in there, and I saw a lot of bottles of brandy, and I saw some glass and all. So it looks like it's going to be maybe a brandy bar. There might be other stuff in there. Might have some rum and all included, but there's at least a sit-in tasting room that is right there on the top of the hotel. And then if you go to the edge and you look down towards that infinity pool, out across that turquoise water of the Caribbean right there, you're going to see that beautiful emblem. The beautiful Margaritaville compass rose is right there embedded in the bottom of that pool. And that's an amazing view to just look down and be able to see that. But from that, having all those rooms that are going to be oceanfront rooms, you can watch the cruise ships come in and go out, which is a great view. So in front of you, if you're not very familiar with the port of Nassau, when you pull into it, there's a little finger that sticks out, and that's over where Atlantis and all is at. And then in between that finger and the main part of Nassau is the kind of like almost like a bay. It does go all the way through, but the cruise terminal actually blocks it for the most part. So larger ships can't transit all the way through. But there is that little bay area right there, as I like to call it. And that whole cruise port is under construction, which I think is phenomenal. Nassau, after having so much damage from hurricanes over the years, has really needed a facelift. And I think this is the facelift that they needed. So getting back over to Margaritaville Resort, and to kind of let you know what is there. There's a lot that is going on. So one thing that I'm really excited about, and it wasn't open when I was there. I don't know if it only opens for dinner, or if it just wasn't open yet. I didn't have a chance to walk over and look at it, but it's going to be the JWB Prime Steakhouse and Seafood. And for any of you that don't know, that is Jimmy Buffett's restaurant right there. And he has his own steakhouse now, and I think that's amazing. But there's the changes in Latitude Bar. We did spend some time there. I actually sat down and I said, what can I have? Is you can QR scan the menu right there, and it was great. And I was like, they have the typical, they have the margarita and things like that. And I said, well, what I really enjoy is a rummarita. And she goes, I got you covered. And she pulled out that a white rum. I forgot what brand it was, but she pulled out a white rum. She started mixing stuff together, and she served me up a rummarita. And I had about 2 or 3 of those. And then I was like, okay, if I have any more, I'm not going to be able to finish my tour of the property. But it was really great. Great atmosphere, great people down there in the Bahamas. Anywhere we've been lately, post-COVID, traveling around the world. Anytime we go to any island in the Caribbean, I will say, they're some of the nicest people, that we've had the pleasure of doing business with and meeting and talking to. Very, very friendly, and very, very open to just communicating with you and letting you know what's going on. Also giving you a lot of local knowledge on where you can and can't go, or where you should and shouldn't go, and things like that. So just a lot of great local knowledge when you're down there. And I think the staff there at the Margaritaville Resort, they go a notch above, and they really are there to impress. And I was highly impressed with that. So going up towards the roof again, you have the Great Cliff Sky Lounge. That's going to be the name of that restaurant, or sorry, that bar that's up there on the rooftop. There's some other things. They've got Joe Merchant's Coffee and Provisions is there. They were opened. I wasn't in the mood for a coffee, but we did go by, and it smelled amazing. There's the SOS Bar, and the SOS Bar is right there on that level with the infinity pool that I was telling you about. And that SOS Bar is just going to be a great place for you to just sit back and relax and have a nice drink, kind of elevate it a little bit so you can kind of take in all the scenery. And just a great little area. Now, there was Frank and Lola's Pizzeria. Now, if you know this song, which I'm sure all of you do, Frank and Lola, they're right there. They're like two peas in a pod, I guess I should say. And so looking at the resort from the ocean, it's going to be to your right, and it's going to be all the way down to the right, and it's the first and second floor down there, and it's going to be the Pizzeria. They were not open. They were still under construction while we were there, but we did at least tour it. I went in and looked around. It's going to be an amazing setup when they get it up and going. Plenty of seating, very spaced out too, so you're not really crammed in there. But it seems like they're going to have 2 sections. They're going to have a grab and go section, which will be on floor 1, and then on the second floor, it looks like that's actually going to be a sit down part of the restaurant. So one good thing I did like is if you're in the hotel and you're walking down that way, you have to go through a door. Now, the only way to get back through that door from Frank and Lola's is going to be to have a key card and access to the hotel. So that does make me feel safe, because that Frank and Lola's being on the end of the building, it is open to the public down there when it comes to that small beach that is there. So people can walk up and get some pizza, but knowing that you're going to be safe and secure in the hotel, because the only way for them to get through into the hotel is with that key card. So this is a very secure property. It's a very big property. I'll say that too. One of the larger properties that I have personally toured for Margaritaville, and it doesn't compare to the Orlando property. The Orlando Margaritaville is massive. It's just a huge piece of property here in Orlando. But the one in Nassau, for being on an island, is fairly spacious. I was highly impressed with how much room there was and how spaced out things were. I did not feel like I was crammed into areas. When you walk in this lobby that is behind me, when you walk into that, it's large, it's open. I know right here it might look kind of small, but it is a large, grand, foyer that you walk into. Right there over my my right shoulder here, you're going to have, that's going to be the reception desk. So you'll come up there and you'll get the reception. If you look right over in the back right there, that is where the bar is at. So that is going to be your changes in Latitude Bar. And then, right here, you've got your iconic flip-flop, where I blew up my flip-flop and I stepped on a pop top. The pop top is right there. The flip-flop is blown out. It's a great photo spot for any of you that are big Margaritaville fans. And then through those doors right there, that will take you right outside to where the lazy river and everything is at. And then over to the side over here, you have another little foyer seating area, kind of like the lounging. And then that opens up to the promenade outside, which is in between one particular harbor and the actual resort itself. So the resort itself is only for, paying guests that are there on vacations. And then the one particular harbor, that's going to be your condo side of the property. And those are also for rent. So if you're going to be doing long-term rentals or things like that, definitely check into it. And us as your travel advisors will be more than happy to book you wherever you need to be and get you that deal that you're looking for. So it was a great piece of property. I just kind of wanted to share some basics with you. If you have a chance, definitely, we'll be putting up some pictures soon from our tour there of the property. So you'll be able to see those. And then, you can always visit the Margaritaville website, and that will show you some of their candid shots of the property. But we would love nothing more than to help you book that amazing vacation. If you're a big Jimmy Buffett fan like we are parrot heads without actually going to the Parrot Head meetings. I'd say we just have so much going on. I never have time to get to the Parrot Head meetup. I never make it down to Meeting of the Minds. And I've got one of my friends, Brett, he gets really mad at me that I don't go. He tries to go all the time. And I'm actually closer now to the Meeting of the Minds location than he is. So when I told him I can't make it, he's like, "What do you mean you can't make it? You're literally right there." And I was like, "Yeah, I've got some other stuff going on though." So, but long story short, it is a great property. We'd love for you to be able to see this property and experience it. If you're a Margaritaville fan, I would say it is definitely a must. It's one of the easier Margaritaville locations to get to, being right there in the Bahamas, just a hop and skip, a short plane ride or a short cruise ride right over to Nassau, and you'll have this amazing property right there and ready for you. So as always, guys, we appreciate all of you. And real quick too, if you haven't heard, we are actually waitlisting clients at the moment. We've just reached a pinnacle where, in order to continue to offer that expertise service that we always have, I'm having to waitlist some clients at the moment. So feel free, send us a message, let us know, what you're looking for, what your travel is. We'll correspond back with you, and then we will put you into the queue to get you going and get that vacation booked for you as soon as possible. And as always, be sure that you see the world before you leave the world. Take care, guys.